that you pay rent to.
So, cool, fair enough, right? It's cool, right?
You haven't bought the house.
So
it's his house.
No, it's not his house, bro, because he's listen, brother, because I've
It's
paid
his house that you live in,
it's not that.
and you pay rent.
No, it's not the house of him, right? So I'm saying to you, if I give money and pay my rent, so what's that bothered about, bro?
So that doesn't mean that you've bought the house. It means that you rent the space.
What space?
That means that any given time he can tell you to come out of the house.
But you've got landlords, right? You have a landlord, right? That can, like, you're just so stupid, man. You're just dumb, man. You don't even understand what I'm saying.
No, I'm definitely listening to you. We're having a conversation here. I'm teaching you that when you buy a house, you don't have a landlord. So right now, what's happening is the man that owns the house or the woman that owns the house is the person that you pay your rent to. They own the house.
Fair enough. So listen, but it's a big house, and I can manage to pay my rent every day. Right? I've got my own living room, my own bedroom, and everything. So yeah, fair enough. I like you. I like that. I've been teaching you still. I like that. Go on.
You haven't taught me anything. You told me that you bought your house.
So what else? But I can afford. Listen. So at the end of the day, it's me in my house by myself, right? Cool. Fair enough. Listen. I pay rent to my landlord. Are you happy? Right?
Yeah.
I have a landlord, right? That listen. You know, with me, right? I can move into so many houses, right? And I can give him money for that, right? And it's in the tenancy agreement. It's my name because now it's my house, right? Right?
The tenancy agreement just means that you can occupy the house for that time.
Let me tell you something. He don't even need to live there. You see, all these landlords, right? They've got
the landlord doesn't need to live there.
That's what I'm saying. Listen, they can invest money, right? Listen, their landlords can invest money into properties for people to move in there. They don't need to live there, right?
No, they don't. You're right.
Yeah, you're right. And I still pay them money to stay there. So that's why it is right now, right? And I can move into another place tomorrow if I really want to.
Yeah, but then your tenancy agreement wouldn't follow over to the other house.
Of course it would, because I'll talk to him, and then after that, the tenancy agreement will sign a different thing to a different house.
Huh?
Right? If I move into a next house, listen, right? Because look, I have one main landlord, right? And they have so many properties, right? It's not just one house. So what right now, see tomorrow, if I say to him, right, brother, I want to move to a next house, right? He will do, and then we'll change the paperwork. So the address for the new paperwork.
But that means you...
Right? It will be on the thing, right? So I'm aligned.
Yes.
So that's
right, but then you see that house that you're in now, you wouldn't be able to go back to that property. That property that you're in now, you don't...
I understand that, but I'm not saying I've done that. Listen, I'm not saying, because I know I'm not in North Dublin, no, wherever you're saying you are, but I'm just
you definitely are, but listen, anyway.
I'm just telling you the facts, right? So, right. If you can do that and it's my yard, so what would you do?
Yeah, but it's not your yard. You understand that at any given time he can kick you out, right?
No, but he doesn't own the house, because you see these people that...
Right,
no,
yeah.
Listen, let me tell you something,
okay. Go on, break it down for me.
These men have so much money, right? They've got so many properties, right?
Yes.
Once they do everything in that, brother, they've got so many properties, right? So at the end of the day, that house will be mine, right? My tenancy agreement, I'll own the house. It will be as me by myself in the house, right? You won't be...
No, it doesn't mean that you own the house, though.
Listen, because they invest in so many properties for people to move in there, right? It's cool, right? It's cool. So imagine now, I'm giving them rent every single month, right? And I've got my own, and I've got my own spare space. So how would you feel?
All right. Do you understand that?
So imagine today.
No, wait, hold on. I'm gonna answer. Hello.
Imagine today if I move right to fucking to what you go to Canary Wharf, right?
Yeah.
I'll be on the tenancy agreement, and now as the owner of the house, right? Even them, they're cool. You got the landlord, it's cool. I'll just pay them peace, but then I'm by myself. I'm not in no shared accommodation.
All right, so let
cool
me...
if you can do it that way, because
so let me explain something to you.
This is what I'm saying.
Cool. So when you move into that house in Canary Wharf now, that doesn't mean that you own the house. It means that you are a tenant in the landlord's house. And at any one moment, if they decide they want to kick you out, they have to give you a month's notice or whatever is in the tenancy agreement. It might be 6 weeks for you to vacate and find somewhere else to live.
Cool. Listen, you're not making no sense because it will be.
No, I am making sense. What the hell are you talking about? I've private rented all my life until I went to prison, and now I'm in a council house.
Cool. Listen. So why would they kick me out, buddy? If I always keep up, if you're always up, they don't care what you do in the house, right?
Yeah, no, I'm not saying that it's anything that you're gonna do.
Exactly.
There might become a time that they want to sell their house. They might want to just sell their house. And they'll just say to their tenant, right, I'm sorry, but I want to sell my house. You've got 6 weeks or 8 weeks or whatever they've written in your tenancy agreement. So then you have to find somewhere else to live.
Cool. And then they'll put me in another house. That's what I'm trying to say to you. They've got cool. So listen, my landlord had so many apartments, houses for me to stay in, right? So I'll be cool. Right, I can stay wherever I am, right? But this is where I am right now. I'm not in no shared accommodation, right? That's what I'm trying to say to you. So it's cool if I can do that. I can do that because at the end of the day, it's still good, right? Right? You get me? It's cool. It's still good because I can still move to house to house to house, and I'm still good. I had a look. He bust me for another house in Bermondsey, right? Right, and I still pay rent for that. So there's 3 yards right now, yeah, in fucking Whitechapel and that, right? And Bermondsey, you get me? That's it. And Bermondsey and that, and Stepney Green, and I can afford to pay the rent for that. So I just get about. You get me?
So you just.
But it's cool. If I got a landlord, it's cool, innit? It's calm. But if I got a landlord, I got a landlord. Then Lisa.
But that is this calm. That's calm.
Listen, I'm not on this oboe thing. I know, brother. We know what we have.
You said You said about 2 days ago that you're on oboe and you're going to prison soon.
I know, but listen, I can still come out of jail and still have the same house here, because
but now you just said you're not on oboe.
Listen, I'm trying to say I never said that I'm not on oboe. I said that
you just said it just then. Just then, about 30 seconds previously, you just said you're not on oboe, and that's why I said. But the other day you did say you was on oboe.
I know, because I'm not trying to get nicked for people like you, Lisa. This is why I'm moving like this. I ain't trying to get pegged for people. But
the lives are saved. David saves all his lives.
I know, but listen. I'm not bothered whether it's saved, because you see me, whether it's saved, it can get saved. I'll be happy about that because I'm not going to prison, because I know that I have a house that I own and other places that I fucking rent. So I'm not bothered.
You don't own the house, sir.
This girl has no idea about life, bro. Trust me, she has no idea about life.
I have got no idea about life. I've just schooled you about lying on the internet.
I'm not lying. You haven't schooled nothing, because you see.
You did, because you said that you owned it, and now you've said that you have a landlord. So we've agreed that you have a landlord.
Of course, I have a landlord, Lisa. I've got a landlord.
Which means you don't own the house, kidda.
Cool. Fair enough, right? But I have another.
So this is what I'm saying. I have caught you out on something.
So if I'm lying, so why have I been to so many different houses and that then on Instagram Live, bro? Because some I can rent them, in the other house you own them, right?
You don't own them. All right. You see, for the one that you own, yeah? You see, for the house that you own, who is your mortgage provider?
No, you don't need to. Myself, you're asking me about this on Instagram Live so that you can track down and try to get my mortgage. I don't even know what you're talking about. You're just chatting shit.
Then. How much do you pay on your mortgage then? Forget that. How much do you pay on your mortgage?
Listen, don't worry about that. Don't worry about that. You get me? We're not on oboe like you, man. You get me, fam? That we're just out here, but
I'm not on no kind of oboe.
Listen, let me tell you something. Yeah, how would you know? Yeah, if I'm a landlord myself, would you know that? How about if I can bust you for?
Do you know why I would be able to? Do you know why I'd be able to tell you that you're not a landlord?
Cool. Yeah. I want you to tell me that, but I'm not gonna talk bit on the live, right? You're just.
Do you want me to tell you why I know that you're not a landlord?
How would you know that? Cool. I'm just saying. How would you know that I'm not a landlord, right? How would you know that?
Because a landlord would be able. Because a landlord that shows his whole watch would be able to stop and pause on the serial number.
And I've done that. I've just.